Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Tech Cheat. I got a brand new unboxing for you. Before we get into that, I'm just going to say that today I am changing up where I'm shooting. I decided that my wife's beauty studio had some better lighting than what I was shooting in the past, so I'm shooting in her beauty studio today, so please don't mind the pink backdrop. That's for her makeup beauty studio. But yes, getting into the review and unboxing. This will be my first initial impressions video as well. I am getting into the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. So this just came in. It is Samsung's flagship phone of 2020. Super excited to get into this, and I've been using my old OnePlus 5T for quite a while now. So that's been here since I first got this back in 2017. So it's time for an upgrade. I've noticed the battery life has significantly depleted on my OnePlus 5T, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this. This phone does come in a variety of colors. So as you see on Samsung's website, they have their standard black. I did see advertised that there was a white, but when I went onto their website, I did not see a white version. And they also have, as you see here, the Mystic Bronze. I did go with the Mystic Bronze on this one, so it looked the most interesting, so it was definitely worth checking out. So I did get the 128 gigabyte model, so that is what I got. It has 12 gig of RAM. It has a 3 camera array on it. It has the wide, the ultra wide, and the telephoto lens. It does come with wireless charging, so it's integrated, and it also has reverse wireless charging, which is a great feature that Samsung has. If you have something like earbuds or anything else that can be wireless charged in a wireless charging case, you can place it on the back and you can actually wirelessly charge those as well. So going right into it, let's start getting into the unboxing. So first, you're presented with the ginormous screen of a phone. Comes with a screen protector on it for initially, and a pull tab to pull it out. So, getting into it, let's look at the rest of the contents in the box. You have a cover plate. You have your charging adapter, which has a USB adapter, which means you have to have a USB-C to USB-C cable. This is supposed to be super fast charging. I'm not sure how fast charging that is, if it will be anything compared to what OnePlus has put out in the past with their super fast warp charge and dash charge technologies. And it also comes with a cable, so you have your USB-C to USB-C cable if you don't already have one. This just plugs right into your adapter and will also plug into your phone to charge. So one thing that this is actually my first phone that does not have a headphone jack. So as you can see here, my old phone, headphone jack. This is my first phone without a headphone jack, so it's definitely going to be a bit of an adjustment. I'll have to look at getting an adapter cable or something to plug in my headphones to the USB, or look at getting some wireless headphones. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. There's also some literature in the top side of the box. I think there's just comes out this way. So quick start guide, and it's also got your tool for removing your SIM card. Bonus for Samsung this year, it's coming with a charger, whereas the new iPhones are not. On the iPhones, my wife is also getting an iPhone 12 Pro, so I will be doing an unboxing and initial review of that phone as well soon. So, looking at the phone, it is a huge display. It looks like a giant piece of glass. We'll see what the bezels look like in a minute. You have your SIM card slot here. You have your USB charging here. One of the great things about the Note 20 or any of the Note phones is the S Pen. This is an amazing tool. It's super awesome for taking notes and all kinds of other gesture-related activities on your phone. This phone is supposed to have stereo speakers, so when you're playing music or videos, it should have sound coming out of the top earpiece and also the bottom speaker, which is great. This is This phone does have the latest version of Gorilla Glass, top, front, and back on this device. So this will be something interesting to see how it lives up, how its scratch resistance is over time. I will be putting this in a case just because, well, it's a big phone. It has a huge camera bump. So as you see, the camera bump is roughly a third of the thickness of the phone, so it sticks out a long ways. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be putting in a case, and I typically get a case for my phones anyways just to protect them. But it is nice that it is glass front and back, so you don't have to worry about paint chipping or anything like that, but the edges are, looks like, made out of aluminum or something similar, some steel. So those will likely scratch. Same thing with the buttons. One additional thing to note with this, it does have a single SIM tray, and it also has expansion for a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte. So let's get powering this thing on. All right, so it's started up now. As you see, colors are quite vibrant and beautiful. It's very nice. This does have a 6.9-inch display. It is Samsung's AMOLED display, 3088 by 1440 pixels. It's really bright, really vibrant, really beautiful. So let's just go and unlock this. I did go ahead and set this up already, so it's set up and configured to work. But basically going through, everything is really fast. Menu system is really intuitive. Lots of options. One of the features that's not normally mentioned about is the Samsung DeX feature, where you can wirelessly connect this to a TV that's compatible. And it basically projects your phone onto the TV as if it's like an Android desktop. So that's something that's really cool. You can connect up like a keyboard and mouse and control it that way. As I was mentioning, you have your S Pen here, so when it's on and you bring up the S Pen, you can activate different functionalities. So you can create a note. I'm going to turn on the sound here because I have it off right now. And then when you write, you can actually hear like you're writing on paper, which is pretty cool. So as you're drawing different notes or sketches or anything like that, it feels like you're drawing on a piece of paper. And actually, with the resistance, it does feel like you're writing on a piece of paper. It's really cool. You can erase your notes as you're going through. So S Pen, definitely a cool feature, something I enjoy, something I'd never had in a previous phone either. This does have Qualcomm's newest Snapdragon 865 Plus processor, so it is definitely top of the line at the moment. As I was mentioning, you can put in an extra up to 1 terabyte micro SD card for additional storage in this if you don't go with the 512 gigabyte. You cannot use that for standard storage for your videos or photos, but you can transfer and store other things. So it is versatile like that to a certain degree. The fingerprint sensor built into the phone is built right into the screen, which is nice. I've already set that up. It unlocks pretty quick. It's definitely not as fast as the fingerprint sensor that I've had on my old OnePlus 5T phone, which has the old ceramic fingerprint sensor on the back. But it's still a nice feature because it's not something that impedes the back of the phone, and it's built right into the screen. So it's definitely really nice for that. This is a pretty heavy phone. This weighs in at just over 200 grams. So it is a hefty phone, but the size is quite nice. It's well balanced. It looks like it might be slightly off balance, but because even with the camera bump and probably with the way they've placed the battery and everything inside the phone, it's very well balanced. It's not too difficult to handle. They do have features where if you find that it's a bit big and you're using it like a single hand, you can bring up basically one-handed mode, and it basically shrinks down the size of the screen so that if you want to use it with just one hand, you can essentially reach the entire screen with your one thumb, because under normal operating, there is no way that you could reach all the way up to the top without sliding your hand up and down the phone. So it's definitely something nice that they thought about. You can swap it from left to right, you can configure it, everything else like that. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with that. Setting this phone up was a breeze. You can either connect it via USB cable to your existing phone, or you can connect it via wireless to transfer all of your data from your old phone. So setup was a breeze. It didn't take a whole lot of time to set everything up and get it up and running. So just to show you some of the video quality, I'm going to play one of my first YouTube videos that I ever put on YouTube. So we'll just get right into that. Also the sound quality.
Hey YouTube, this is a new channel coming at you called TechG. This is going to be general reviews of technology, gadgets, and possibly some games as well. I am an
So it looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good. The sound is very crisp and clear. That is one thing that I've noticed about it. Another feature about this phone is if you have a Samsung TV or something like that, or a Samsung soundbar, if you tap your phone to the device, it'll automatically start playing, say, a video on your TV or music through your soundbar. So there's all kinds of technology and features built into this. This is a 5G phone, so obviously it has the fastest speeds if you're on a network that supports 5G. So that is something that's great as well. Let's also see what we got in here. You have nearby share. What else do we have in here? Oh yes, this phone does have Dolby Atmos, so it has Dolby Atmos support. Going into some of the display settings on this phone, you do have some options for the display. You can actually set up, say, motion smoothness or anything like that. You can have it adaptive or standard. Standard will give you 60 hertz. Adaptive will dynamically adjust between 60 and 120 hertz. So if you enable adaptive here, you'll get the higher refresh rates on this. You can actually set the screen resolution. So by default, it comes with Full HD Plus. You can go to the WQHD Plus, which uses the full resolution 3088 by 1440. But when you do that, it does disable the 120 hertz. You cannot get the high refresh rate with the WQHD. So it's obviously a trade-off whether you want Full HD or WQHD. You can either do 60 hertz or 120 hertz depending on what you're looking for. But for now, I'm going to keep this on the Full HD Plus with the 120 hertz adaptive smoothness, so that when you are going around between menu screens, it is something that's a little bit smoother and a little bit nicer to look at. So it's nice. I'm sure that Samsung, the reason they use the adaptive smoothness or the adaptive refresh rate is to possibly reduce battery life. Obviously, if you're at 120 hertz all the time, it may drain your battery faster. So if you're gaming or something like that, you can get a higher refresh rate, higher frame rate, and going through all of that. More on the battery life. This does have a 4,500 milliamp battery, so it should be good to last you an entire day. As I use this phone, I'm going to figure out what the usage is like and what kind of battery life I have left at the end of the day. I know with my old OnePlus 5T, I was typically getting down to about 15 to 20% at the end of the day, so we'll see how this one lasts under the similar use. Going into the camera configuration, this does have built-in optical zoom, which is a nice thing. So if you want to zoom in on something, I believe it has up to 5 times optical zoom. Everything else after that is digital zoom. You do have the 3 different camera configurations. So you have your wide, your ultra wide, and your telephoto, all with the different configurations. You also have your 10 megapixel front facing camera. For video recording, you do have several options. With this phone, you can get 4K video recording. You can also get 1080p recording. It'll also shoot up to 8K as well. So if you go into your video settings, you can choose what you end up getting. So you can do 8K 16:9, 16:9 Ultra HD, 30 frames per second. You can get Ultra HD 60 frames per second, Full HD 60 frames, Full HD 30 frames, and HD, which is 720p, 30 frames per second. So there's lots of options there for shooting. You can also shoot different aspect ratios as well, but for standard use, I'll keep it the standard 16:9. All right, we're just gonna test out the camera here to see how it takes photos under normal conditions. So I'm just gonna take a picture of this Samsung fast charger, wireless charger here. There is a little bit of shutter lag. but as you see, it is quite detailed. So this phone is going to be my daily driver once I switch it over and get a case for it. So I will be using this on a daily basis. So I'll probably do a follow-up review in the next couple of weeks after I've had some experience using it, and report out on daily usage percentages on battery use and how the camera works over time and all of that. Obviously my impressions on the S Pen and any other features, video recording, just overall functionality around the house and at work. So this will be my daily driver, like I said, and I am looking forward to getting into this. So to test out the video quality of this, I am planning to use this phone to record my next video. It's going to be a video about the Xbox Series X. I was lucky enough to get one of those on release date. So it just arrived, and I'm really looking forward to getting into that and showing some of the features and functions of the Xbox Series X. Overall, I'm very impressed with the phone. I'm impressed with the finish. I'm impressed with the new color that Samsung has. Right now, first impressions on the camera, I think it's okay. I think it's great that Samsung allows for expandable storage. The display is amazing. The battery life so far after a day of use, it seems to be pretty decent. I ended my day of work with this at around 60%, and that was doing a lot of configuration and setup things this morning. The fingerprint sensor on it is a nice feature built into the screen. The facial recognition is something that I also have set up on this. It's a little bit slow, it doesn't always pick it up, but it is an additional feature that it has. It's snappy, it's a beautiful display, it's high resolution, it's HDR10+. The hardware in this thing is top of the line with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus. The 5G technology, if you have a network that supports it, the connectivity, the speeds of it. I'm really looking forward to this lasting me the next 3 to 4 years. And I'm really hoping it meets my expectations as time goes along. So this is, I'm really excited to keep using this, and stay tuned to my next video. Like I had mentioned, I'm going to be looking at an Xbox Series X and unboxing and reviewing that and giving my first impressions. And also look out for the future for an iPhone 12 Pro review and unboxing, because like I said, my wife will be getting one of those again. So if you really like this video, or if you liked it at all, hit that subscribe button below. And if you want to get notified of any future videos, hit that bell button as well, because that'll notify you anytime I get new videos. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I really look forward to making my new video, and hopefully you enjoyed this.